seen this, James?
What?
Carrots stop you getting cancer.
Really?
Yeah. But the Mail said it was tomatoes, or was it tomatoes give you cancer?
I thought Diana gave you cancer. Or was it house prices?
No, immigrants do house price. I get confused.
Oh, for sure, yeah. The 2.3 is a bit of a tortoise, but this has 2.8 litres of farm fresh double cream with the power of absolute vodka.
It gets from 0 to 60 in 7.5 seconds and does 145 miles an hour. That's fast enough to keep Diana ahead of the paparazzi. Next question, please.
Included in the retinue is Camilla's personal makeup artist, or Ken the Plasterer, as he's known. Some of the US press have been scathing about the fact that Camilla is approaching 60. That's nothing. Diana was approaching 120 when she went into that tunnel.
There's going to be a lynching tonight, isn't there?
Yes, this very vehicle has just come back from the Middle East where it cleared 100 anti-tank mines.
It's kind of focused on one thing, isn't it? Mine clearance. That's what it is, a mine clearing machine.
But
we aren't clearing mines, we're knocking a house down. You know what I mean?
He's got a point.
You've focused on one thing and we're not doing that thing.
It's a very, very specialised piece of equipment, this.
Incredibly specialised. The cab is on hydraulic rams. It senses your weight, raises it to the correct height so that if there's a blast underneath, you're cushioned from that blast.
Again, amazing. It won't be. Because we're not clearing a minefield, we're knocking houses down.
You wait till you see what happens to a house when it is presented with this moving at 400 RPM.
Well,
Was
if
it
the
going
house
to surrender?
immediately explodes, you'll be okay, but that's about it.
That's what it does. It just goes around doing this.
It's like a mechanical cat. It's a military machine with some white paint on it.
It isn't military, it's for clearance and saving lives. Princess Diana had one of these. It must be said that many people had an issue with the Crown, claiming that it was hurtfully and willfully inaccurate. And I think I know what they were on about. OK, the Mini Metro here, being driven by Diana, is on a W plate, meaning it was registered in 1980 or 1981. But it didn't come on those wheels until 1984. And that was just the tip of the iceberg, OK? This scene here, that was set in 1981, but that's a facelifted Mark II Cavalier. And you don't need me to tell you that didn't arrive until 1984. I think, though, the most upsetting moment centred around Charles and Diana, specifically their visit to Australia in 1983. Because that's a Jaguar XJ40 in the background. And that came out in 1986.
Will Top Gear go back to the way it was? Is it still just going to be three normal blokes cocking about and arguing?
I mean, it is actually a problem, really, because obviously one of us blokes has now become Princess Diana.
It's tricky.
No, he really has.
However, Princess Diana himself has said quite explicitly that he just wants to come back onto a show that was the way it was back in the summer.
Exactly. He said, please don't make any changes, please.
Yeah, he actually said explicitly, for Pete's sake, don't make a big fuss.
Absolutely. So, it gives me really great pleasure, because I didn't think I'd ever be saying this at one point. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Richard Hammond!
As I mentioned earlier, it was used by the most famous woman in the world. But actually, I didn't mean the Queen. I meant Diana, Princess of Wales. Here she is on her honeymoon. And other royals borrowed it as well. Here's Prince Edward attacking a tree. Charles and Camilla at Hunt. That was in 1979. If cars could talk.
We all know that Princess Anne is a bubbling spring of brilliance. She's smart. No, she is. She's smart. She's funny. She's a former Olympian. She's been nominated for a Nobel Prize. And she's bloody hard-working. But what everyone seems to have forgotten, and this is right up Channel 5 street, is how incredibly hot she was. I mean, come on, I know a lot of people fancied Diana, but Diana didn't have a Reliant scimitar. You know, I'm slightly amazed that someone like Princess Diana is being discussed in this series. I mean, I'm sure she was a very lovely lady, but she's not really in the same class as Brunel. And John Lennon, I am the Eggman, I am the Walrus. Quite. And then there's William Shakespeare, a man who's brought stupefying boredom to the classroom for 400 years. Let me put it this way. In A Midsummer Night's Dream, Puck says he will put a girdle around the earth. Shakespeare wrote about it, but Brunel, with his bridges and his ships and his trains, he actually did it. Greatest Briton ever? I'm absolutely sure of it. Good night.